Hi, my name is Madison, and I'm here to give you a speech about the Enneagram. And the purpose of this speech is to give you a little bit more information about what the Enneagram is and how it came about, who are the people that inspired it and helped create this movement, and what we can do once we know what the Enneagram is and how we classify ourselves. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and dive a little bit more into what the Enneagram is. And I would say that the guy, kind of like Santa Claus is to Christmas, the guy for the Enneagram is Oscar Chazo. He is the one who made the connection between the Enneagram and personality. He's the guy that said, hey, you need to have both to be able to have this classic personality definition. So we're going to look into the other guy who helped make the connection, and that is the Archangel Metatron. He came to Chazo in a dream, or most of the people will call it a vision or hallucination, because at the time Chazo was high on mescaline, and so we keep that in mind when we think of the credibility of him. But he said in this dream that, hey, think about what you could do with both this and this. And together, you got your Enneagram and you got your personality, and you need to connect the two to make a whole, to give you the whole version of the Enneagram. And so we look at that and we realize that there are 9 types that we can use to help define our characteristics or personality. And so we have 1, which is the perfectionist. 2 is the peacemaker, or the helper. 3 is the achiever. 4 is the individualist. 5 is the investigator or the observer. 6 is the loyalist. 7 is the enthusiast. 8 is the challenger. And 9 is the mediator. And so with these, we tend to subgroup them. So you're going to have 1, 9, and 8 together to think, and they tend to think with their body. 2, 3, and 4 think with their heart. And then 5, 6, and 7 tend to think with their head. And so when we take each aspect, it kind of creates the full circle. And I think back on how we have each section and what it means to be each. And you can discern on your own about your personality and how most people, when they take this test, they say, oh, that's me. That is my personality, and I can think this quiz say, now I know that that's kind of where it is. And when they go into their own lives, they start to think about how they can apply it. And so most people, when they want to look into their Enneagram, if they're quick and easy, they tend to take a quiz or a test. But there are other ways, including in the book, such as The Road Back to You, and that's by Suzanne Stable. And she was able to take each chapter, give a couple examples, and say, okay, this, for example, you're a 9. And if you're a 9, you're going to exhibit these personality types, and you're going to act a certain way when given these situations. And so many people, and over 500,000 copies have been sold, and people use this to connect with their friends and say, oh, well, you're a 9, I'm an 8, what does this mean? And then it tends to affect how they relate to each other and how their relationships tend to work. And so most of the Enneagram is up to you as the individual. What do you want to get out of it at the end of the day? Do you want to grow? Do you want to be self-aware? Do you want to change? Because you need to be willing to change before you are able to change. And one key takeaway from today's informative session is that this is not about the discovery. It's great to be discovered, but if you do nothing with it, you're not going to know. And so if you take the transformation and use it and apply it to your life, you are able to become this new person and become a person who is able to grow and is able to learn and is able to accept that not everything is going to be easy peasy and it's going to be actual work. And so I just want you to take a moment as we leave here today to say, hey, I want to discover myself. I want to learn more about myself and to say, oh, once I know myself, I can take the steps to become a better person, to become this person that I have always imagined being. And at the end of the day, it takes curiosity and the willingness to do so. And with that being said, this is a little bit of information on the Enneagram, and I hope you've learned something today. Thank you.